What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kryptonian saying here, bringing you guys a review for One Piece chapter 961. And dude, okay, so this makes sense. Why all of a sudden this man Kin'emon was willing to follow Oden in the way that he did. Now this makes sense because Oden essentially saved his wife. Oden was able to stand back, give Kin'emon the opportunity to try and save his wife himself. Even though Tsuru wasn't his wife at this time, Tsuru was still somebody who was very, very important to him. And so what I like in this moment right here is that, Oden understood the importance of allowing that man the opportunity to fight for the person he cares for, to fail, and then step in and do the right thing. That is the mark of a good leader. I like that. I like that a lot. And what's so interesting about that is the fact that you're in a situation where once he does step in, all hell breaks loose at this point. And Oda has some very godly double page spreads. Like that one spread where you see Oden and he's doing the two sword style attack. Very fucking beautiful page spread. Very beautiful, man. And like the way that Oden's eyes are just shaded during that time, that is so fucking awesome. That is beautiful artwork right there. But then you got it right before that, how Oden is just holding up the white boar and the baby boar. And he's like, yo, I got that pig right here. You don't want me to turn him into bacon? You get your ass over here now. I like that. And I like how, Oden is just preparing for the attack. And once again, Oda is just killing it with the artwork. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I can't believe I waited for so long to get into One Piece because the art threw me off for a second. But once you get used to the art and you recognize that's part of that man's style, Oda, what he does well, he does very well. And one thing I gotta say is that like his backgrounds look very good, but his double page spreads are fucking godly. Like this is really, really nice, man. Oda snapped on this chapter. Like, I like that, and I like how, in this chapter right here, you really only got the fight, but there's so much that happens in the spread of this chapter, and the way that everything happens after the fact. You find out that Orochi was actually Yasuie's manservant. I believe I read that right. And that right there, it really lets you know that, like, yo, you got to be careful how you treat people when you're on the way up, because the same people you see on the way down are going to be the people that you might have mistreated in the past. In this case right here, when you see people on your way up that you know are going to be a problem, if you don't take care of that problem's going to get bigger. And that's what happened with Orochi. Oden looks at him and says, you need to get rid of this dude. This dude don't look right. And I think that at this point, he should have been listened to, because this ain't like somebody that has always been around and might have some beef and drama and everything. I'm more likely to listen to somebody when they make an observation about somebody that I myself am close to and they just met them or they don't know a lot of information about them, because that gives me an unbiased look at them. Now, there are things that have to be taken into account, like context and stuff that only you yourself would know. But when somebody makes an assessment like how Oden made when it comes to Orochi, you got to pause for a second, because he says like, yo, this dude's a little weirdo. You need to get rid of him. Like that right there, it's just innocent enough to where I could see why it was kind of something that got a blind eye turned to it. But I don't know if maybe that's just recency bias kind of popping in, because I, as a reader, know, like, okay, Orochi, that he's going to be a problem in the future going forward. Like, this dude's going to be a huge ass problem. And it low-key makes you look at where Orochi's at now and say, damn, this dude really had a nice come-up. But not a respectable come-up, but a nice come-up. But the other side to it, too, though, is you're also in a situation where that's exactly what you want to go for as a writer. When the audience has information that the characters themselves don't have, it creates instant drama. Even if the actual readers themselves don't know that that's what you're doing, you're laying the groundwork for drama right there. So that's actually a very nice tool. And that's actually something that, in hindsight, after reading the chapter, I get it. Because again, heavy hand, soft hand. Now, the irony is that the actual fight was the soft hand. Because the heavy hand is that revelation at the end where Orochi's like, oh, I'm just a humble manservant. Don't pay any extra attention to me. It's like, bitch, please. I'm going to pay you all the attention because I know what the fuck you're going to be when you grow up, man. Like, it's one of those things to where you kind of wonder if there was a devil fruit that could actually show the future and show, in particular, different people's futures, would they actually use it and would they punish Orochi based on his future crimes? Or would they leave him being modern to him? That's something that's interesting. That's actually going to be my chapter question is that, you know, if they had that ability, do you think that Oden would punish him for what he could be? Or do you think that Oden would just essentially keep him on the back burner and keep an eye on him? Let me know what the answer to that is right there. But I got to say, just on another token, though, I like how it was very well done when, you know, Kin'emon is just thinking back and, you know, you have all these revelations like Tsuru was paying this dude's gambling debts to the Yakuza and paying the debts from what he had when he was stealing stuff from them. And, you know, you just see more of their actual relationship. And it's one of those things to where I like how once this dude snaps, this dude goes complete ape shit. And it's one of those times where I'm going to disagree with Oden. Oden says this guy's got guts. And I agree, he's got guts. But in this moment right here, I think that was less guts. And that was more somebody who was like, fuck it. And I know what that's like because I've had that energy. I really feel like he was just like, fuck it. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die anyway. I'm going to die swinging. That's more of an idiot's move. That's more of a pride move than somebody that's actually got guts. Like, that's just my take on it. I think that he knew like, yo, I'm probably not going to save her, but I'm going to do my damnedest to do it. I don't want to live in a world where she's not living. Like, that's how I took what he did. And from my interpretation, I wouldn't call that somebody that's a brave person. I would just call that as somebody that's being reckless. But I like how, you know, you see the difference in power between Oden and Kin'emon. And Oda also highlights another thing for you, which is the fact that you can have all the best intentions in the world, but if you don't have the actual power to back it up, those are just good intentions. You can't actually bring about change in a world like this, which makes it so interesting that, you know, for everything that Oden has done, they still disown him to the family. So it's one of those things where now you look at it and you say, okay, well, he was the shogun at some point. So how did he actually gain that power if he's disowned? So overall, this was a pretty good chapter, man. You know, my chapter question to you guys, like I said before, do you think that if Oden and them had the foresight that Orochi was going to be somebody who would essentially be working hand in hand with Kaido? Do you guys think that they would sentence Orochi to death? Do you think that they would lock him up or keep him under surveillance? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.